in 3 different decades. It's crazy. Shannon is getting the Bucs to the NFC Championship game, Brady's greatest achievement.
No, because that's not how he's judged. When you reach the level of his greatness, and he's historically great, you put him up there with the Jordans, whatever the sport may be, Skip, whoever the great players in sport, the Messis, the Ronaldo, whatever the case may be, Skip, they're not judged by, they're judged by World Cup titles. They're championship titles. That's how he's judged. He's judged by Super Bowls. Not and that's great, Skip. That's great. But once you reach the level of greatness that Brady's at, it's like LeBron. Getting the Lakers to the fight is not good enough. You got to win. If you think about it, Skip, Jordan, nobody cares about Jordan's first-round exit. I try to bring that up. You shoot me down every time. You say, Shannon, he's 6-0. That's the only thing that matters. Brady's on that level. When you get to that level, Kobe's 5-2. That's all that matters are championships. It's great that he got him there. In the grand scheme for a lesser quarterback, if that was somebody not named Tom Brady, Skip, that's a hell of an accomplishment. To be somewhere for all those years and then in your first year, but that's not how we measure him. Skip, he got a different tape measure. We measure him in a whole different light. So, no, that's not going to be good enough. When you got 6 titles, you got 3 regular season MVPs, you got 4 Super Bowl MVPs, and you got one of the 2 greatest comebacks in NFL history in the playoffs, a 28-3, only surpassed by the Buffalo Bills coming back on the Houston Oilers at the time, Skip. No, you're not judged by this. It's great, but no, this is not even close to his greatest accomplishment.
So, quick question. Did Michael Jordan at age 39 and 40 transform the Wizards into an Eastern Conference finalist?
No.
No, he did not. To me, this has been Tom Brady's greatest achievement, and I don't think he's getting enough credit for it. I get what you're saying. It's all about Super Bowls.
For him.
For him. I get that. But I just want to remind everybody that at age 43, he left the comfort zone of New England, and he chose a franchise with the worst winning percentage in all of sports history, the Succaneers. And with no offseason and no preseason games, he instilled the Patriot way in what I call Tampa Bay, and he took a team that went 7-9 and led the NFL in turnovers and penalties, and transformed all those young players on the fly into a winning football team with a winning edge, a team that now leads the NFL in turnover differential at +12. That's impossible. You can't do that on the fly. You can't leave behind Bill Belichick. There's no Belichick defense. There's no Belichick aura. There's no winning edge provided by the GOAT coach. It's Bruce Arians. You are winning in spite of Bruce Arians, and I've railed about him all year on the show. Okay. A lot of times you had to overcome him because he had no idea what he was doing. I thought he was just overmatched with the GOAT. And it took all the way to the bye week for Brady to convince Bruce Arians, look, I like your offense, but you got to give me a little bit of my old offense. We got to at least install a little motion here. How about a few play-action passes? And they came out of their late-year bye week. They started playing a little Patriot football. And what happened in December? They took off. So he slowly but surely even brought Arians along to a point at which they're 3.5-point underdog on the frozen tundra at Lambeau against the #1 seed, Aaron Rodgers, having arguably his greatest year ever.
Let me ask you a question, Skip. If they don't win this game, what have they accomplished?
Everything. Like against all odds to get this far. I don't care what you say. Nobody thought they'd get this far. Nobody saw this coming. Everybody thought that. How many great athletes do we see go out badly? Yeah. How many times do we see Willie Mays wind up with the Mets and just look like a shell of himself? I covered Joe Namath out here with the Rams at the end, and it was just a pathetic sight. We see it again and again. Even Joe Montana, he was pretty good at Kansas City, but he wasn't Joe Montana at Kansas City. Tom Brady looks like he's 43 going on 23. So to turn around that team, there's so many young players on that team, and teach them how to win on the fly and get to the NFC Championship game.
I give you a prime example. Joe Montana got the Kansas City Chiefs to the AFC Championship game. What was that? What did he accomplish? They lost.
Yeah.
Nobody even mentions it. Nobody cares about that.
Okay.
Because
At
Joe.
Buffalo.
Right. Because Joe.
Was Buffalo the 1 seed?
Yeah.
Probably the were, yeah.
Joe was about titles. Joe had never lost in the Super Bowl. Joe was a 3-time Super Bowl MVP. So him getting that team, Skip, and what?
But remember, he joined a Kansas City team that was pretty good.
Skip.
That was your division rival, right?
Yes. Tampa was pretty good, except the quarterback turned the ball over too much. Tom Brady came in and cut the turnovers down by 2/3. There's the difference. So 7-9 all of a sudden went to 11-5. Well, it wasn't like they were a bad team, Skip. Because think about it. They added Antonio Brown midway through the season. But for the most part, the heavy contributors were there. The offensive line, they drafted Tristan Wirth.
They did.
They needed an offensive lineman.
Great pick.
Great pick.
Yep.
But Godwin and Mike Evans and Cameron Brake, O.J. Howard, who got hurt, Scotty Miller, those guys were there.
Okay, but you know and I know the Chiefs already knew how to win when Montana got there. I wasn't surprised at all by that.
They had an outstanding defense.
Yep.
I'm talking about when I say outstanding defense, but they would just run, Skip. They had Okoye and Barry Ward. They just wanted to run the football. Joe made them open it up a little bit, got them all the way to the AFC Championship game.
Okay, all right. I still say, way to go, Tom.
Question for you guys. Will Kyrie mesh with Katie and Harden on the court tonight? We finally get to see it, and we'll break it down next.
No mercy, no mercy, no mercy. And I
You judge by Super Bowls, not and that's great, Skip. That's great. But once you reach the level of greatness that Brady's at, it's like LeBron getting the Lakers to the fight is not good enough. You got to win. If you think about it, Skip, Jordan. Nobody cares about Jordan's first round exit. I try to bring that up. You shoot me down every time. You say, Shannon, he's sick.